Launched in 2021 as a low-cost point-to-point airline in the eastern United States, I couldn't wait to give Breeze Airways a try. The only problem is, they don't make it easy. Good morning, everyone. Bear with me a moment here. It turns out the birth date on my ticket and my government-issued ID didn't match, so the TSA sent me back to the Breeze Airways check-in counter to get it fixed. Now, with that out of the way, welcome to the Tampa International Airport. My name is Scott. I am the founder and author of SANspotter.com, and I just learned a valuable lesson about being unwilling to give an airline my real birth date when making a reservation. Turns out that's kind of important. Anyway, Breeze Airways operates out of Terminal C here in Tampa, a terminal that I've never been in before, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it's like just as much as I am looking forward to flying Breeze Airways for the first time. This is nice. It kind of reminded me of the Penang Airport in Malaysia for some reason, which is a compliment, and I'm liking what I see so far. But what I really want to see is the Breeze Airways E195 that will be taking me to Oklahoma City this morning. Looks like C-45 is our gate, and parked just outside, barely within view, is our aircraft. I know that it's a little bit hard to see, but the Breeze Airways livery looks great, even in unflattering light conditions such as this. I've got to give props to their marketing team for choosing anything but white. However, it's kind of hard to say nice things about how easy it was to fit this flight into my itinerary. Breeze Airways has a very limited flight schedule, and since they only do point-to-point flying to mostly secondary cities in the eastern half of the US, it took every last brain cell I had to figure out how to get a seat on one of their airplanes for a return trip back to San Diego today. It's almost like they wanted nothing to do with me, that they were pushing me away on purpose. Story of my life, really. Last minute gate change here. You know that aircraft footage that I just showed you? That wasn't ours. Oh, I forgot to mention that I'm holding a ticket for an extra legroom seat, which is a seat at the front section of the plane with a few extra inches of legroom. Other than that, I have no idea what to expect, so we're going to discover what Breeze Airways is like, in real time, together. Call me weird, but I don't always do research before trying a new airline for the first time, and I like being surprised. Speaking of which, holy crap. Okay, this was not what I was expecting, at all. This is nice. As I mentioned earlier, these are the extra legroom seats, which don't actually seem all that spacious. They sure do look good though, and it's nice to see white seats again after the unfortunate demise of Virgin America. That's where the similarities end, obviously, because, well, I'm not yet feeling the ultra-hip vibe that punched you right in the face upon stepping on board a Virgin America aircraft. This feels more like a silent but subtle middle finger to all the other low-cost airlines who don't dare choose any other color for their seats but blue. I really do like this. Oh, and I also managed to score an empty seat next to me this morning, which was surprising considering that all of the other extra legroom seats were occupied. See what I mean about other people not wanting anything to do with me? That's okay. It has its advantages sometimes. Pushback happened right on time, which was nice to see considering that this is still a very new airline, and it wouldn't have surprised me if they still had some kinks in the system that needed to be worked out. Then again, Tampa is one of their primary airports, so it's probably a good thing that everything seems to be running smoothly. Oh, and I do want to say a few words about Breeze Airways fares before we take off. Basically, I have no idea how they can charge so little with any hope of being profitable. I paid just $124 for this extra legroom seat 4 weeks prior to this flight, which was a pretty good deal if you ask me. However, I overheard the guy in front of me tell a seatmate that he paid $130 just 2 days before departure, and that he's building a big house in Oklahoma City. Anyway, the takeaway from this is that I guess it doesn't always pay to book in advance on Breeze Airways. And yeah, that probably I need to mind my own business as well. I didn't realize it at the time, but this was the first Embraer 195 that I had ever been on. I've been on plenty of 175s, but somehow I've been able to avoid stepping foot on one of these things until now. It's a pretty nice airplane, actually. It doesn't quite feel like a regional jet, and the fact that I was about to be served breakfast made it seem even better. Looks like we've got some water and potato chips. Not exactly what I'd consider to be the breakfast of champions. Come to think of it, I don't think I've had potato chips for breakfast since college. I wasn't sure if I should have felt nostalgic or thankful that I got any food at all considering the price that I paid for this seat. However, it should be noted that, according to the Breeze Airways website, real food is coming. Eventually. How soon we actually see that is anyone's guess, but for now, I can't complain about having a new airline here in the US, at least one that can put pressure on some of the more established carriers. Well, at least until they make it easy for us West Coasters to be able to fly with them, that is. So, someone commented on my last video that there's really no point to doing Lou reviews. I beg to differ. One of these days, I'm going to figure out how to make them both fun and informative. Today isn't that day, but I am working on it. Anyway, once the snack service was complete, there really wasn't much else to do but to sit back and enjoy the rest of the flight. It also gave me some time to think about what I was going to say about my first ever Breeze Airways experience. On one hand, everything went to plan and there were no surprises along the way. Well, except for the TSA rejecting my boarding pass earlier this morning, but whatever. On the other hand, this still felt very much like a work in progress. What I mean by that is, despite what it says on the Breeze Airways website, there was nothing extraordinarily great about this flight. Yes, they are promising a lot of enhancements to the in-flight experience as time goes on, but for now, it's all talk. And let's not forget about how difficult it is to fly with them if you live on the West Coast like I do, or if you have no specific need to fly to any of their mostly secondary destinations. I mean, think about this. I was in New York yesterday with the need to fly home to San Diego. I wanted to try Breeze Airways. My best option for a decently long flight experience was to fly all the way down to Tampa to catch this flight over to Oklahoma City. And if that wasn't complicated enough, they only fly between Tampa and Oklahoma City a couple times a week. I guess I just got lucky that today was one of those days. Anyway, I'm sure their flight schedules will improve over time, and if everything goes to plan, this video, and all the information in it, is going to age horribly. Welcome to Oklahoma City, by the way. Looks like it's a beautiful morning here, and I've got to admit that it was nice to see this place again. I think I've been living in a big city for far too long because the wide open land around the Oklahoma City airport fills me with all sorts of crazy ideas about selling everything and spending the rest of my life as a cowboy out on the open plains. It's a pipe dream though, which is a good thing because I'm fairly certain that I'd look ridiculous in a cowboy hat. So, that wraps up my first ever experience on Breeze Airways. I'm definitely going to be trying them again once they start adding more in-flight service options. I can only hope that they start service to the West Coast sometime soon as well. Maybe we'll see San Diego as their first destination in California? My fingers are definitely crossed. Anyway, huge thanks as always to the SANspotter patrons, and I'm honored to show your names at the end of all my videos. You know, maybe if I move to Oklahoma, I can see about getting you guys and gals some cowboy hat merch as a perk for being a patron. I don't know, something to think about. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.